got invited to a high-stakes college poker game where I played the swingiest session of my life. Time is ticking as we have less than 1 week to make $20,000. It's time to lock in and roll the intro. Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of I Dropped Out of College to Play Poker, a series where I dropped out of college to play poker. Yeah, pretty straightforward. In Season 1, I doubled my bankroll from $50,000 to $100,000 in less than 3 months in order to avoid getting disowned by my parents. But they still kicked me out of the house. So now, I'm heading to the West Coast with the goal of hitting a $250,000 bankroll before I return home for the holidays to see my parents. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll love me again. And this is where we're currently at.
We've got less than a week to make over $20,000. We gotta go to the casino, get on the tables now!
Life could be a dream, life could be a
This guy here is 7:45, so late start, and let's go up. No more punting today. Actually, I'm gonna be focused. Let's get in there.
We're back at Hustler Casino, and we've got to be on our A game. We have less than a week left here in LA, and still need to make $25,701. So let's jump straight into the action, and hopefully make some cha-ching bling. We buy in for 2K and head to the 5-5 table to start things off. But we only play here for about 45 minutes, remaining break even, before we get called up to the 5-5-10 table at 8:45. We sit down with 1,500 in our stack, the table max, and this is where our night really gets started. First hand comes when we look down at pocket nines on the button. The $20 straddle is in play, so I raise to 60. The small blind and middle blind call, and we head to an interesting flop of Jack, Jack 7, 2 diamonds. I bet 60, and the small blind folds, but the middle blind is ready to tango as he sticks in the call, and we see the turn, the 4 of hearts. About as useless a card as they come. I decide to bet once again, sizing things up to 200. After a bit of thinking, the middle blind decides he's not ready to leave just yet. He calls, and we await a crucial river. We're hoping to fade the diamonds, and we do, as we see another relevant card, the deuce of spades. The dealer's looking like Ben Simmons, as it's just brick after brick. But we're not complaining, as we're feeling pretty comfortable with our pocket nines here. I think our hand is more than good enough to get value, so we aim for just that, betting 500 on the river. But I'm taken aback as our opponent immediately calls. I hesitantly reveal my nines, and he mucks! We are good! We go up 900 in a nice little pot to start off the night. Our stack, up to 2,500 now, when we get a beautiful all-in pre-flop against a short stacker. Queen Jack of hearts versus 10-9 suited. We hold on the run out and scoop up the pot, going up another 500. We win a couple more small pots and build our stack up to 3,300 around 10:30 p.m. This session is going swimmingly. But things may change in this pot as we've got a big one with Ace King on the button. The hijack calls my 3-bet to 180, and it's heads up to a gorgeous flop. King 9-6, 2 diamonds. He checks to me, and I c-bet for 130. Hijack calls, and we see a dynamic 9 of diamonds turn. With the ace of diamonds in our hands, blocking nut flushes, I would normally bet in this spot to set up a river jam, but our opponent was very tilted at this point in time, and I wanted to give him as much rope as possible to bluff on the river. So I just opted to check it back and see what the river's got in store for us. The dealer reveals the 6 of clubs. Okay. When our opponent checks it over to us, he is giving us the green light to value bet. I decide to jam for our opponent's effective stack of $1,050, polarizing in order to induce a hero call. And he's looking like Thanos as he snaps and reveals King Queen. Cooler, baby. We rake in the mountain of chips as our stack soars to 4,800. What a start to the session. But we've still got 2 huge hands that can shake things up. First up, we've got Ace Jack offsuit and raised to 60 buckaroos. Gil Jack and the $20 straddle 3-bets us to 200, and I call. We go heads up to a pretty good flop of Jack 10 deuce, 2 clubs. I check, Gil bets 160, and I've got some options here. Now obviously, I can just call with top pair and hope we fade the draws on the turn and river, but there's something else I can do, and I think you might have an idea as to what it may be. Check Rizzle to the size of 620. In this spot, we want to be raising hands such as King Jack and better in order to balance out all of our possible bluffs. And well, Ace Jack is better. We're expecting to just see a call or fold from Gil, but instead, he 3-bet jams his whole stack. of 2,400. Oh shit. Did we just run into it? Well, I didn't raise the flop to fold to a jam, so we flicking calling chips. A 5K pot, and I got no clue whether we are ahead or behind. On the turn, the dealer reveals a 6 of clubs, bringing in the front door flush draw. And then on the river, an ace. Okay, we've got some hope now. We show our 2 pair, and Gil mucks. He reveals he has an ace, so most likely ace queen or ace king, and we win a massive $5,200 pot. That's what I'm talking about. We've had an incredible session up to this point, playing some of our best poker in a while. Our stack sitting pretty at 7,000, but now is not the time to start counting our chips, as we've got one final hand to cover on the night. We're in the low jack with ace 3 of spades and raise to 60. The cutoff calls, and Gil on the button 3 bets to 250. Normally, I would just fold, or maybe 4-bet at a very low frequency. But the cutoff is a blue whale, so I want to play pots against him whenever I can. So I call, as does the cutoff, and we're going fishing on the flop, boys, as we see 3, 4, 5, 2 diamonds. I check, cutoff checks, and Gil now c-bets for 200. Now the cutoff and Gil both only have around 1,100 behind, and with $800 in the pot already, it sort of feels like an all-in or fold spot. I notice the cutoff holding his cards as if he's about to fold them, so I probably don't have to worry about him. And we can't seem to lose any pots right now. Call me Game 6 Clay, because it's time for a heat check as I jam on Giljack again for 1,100. The cutoff folds as we expected, and Giljack says, fuck it, and calls. The turn and river are revealed. Well, actually, who gives a shit about the river? Because we hit the 2 of hearts on the turn. Straight. We fade any flushes on the river as we see the 7 of clubs, and we are good. Gil mucks, and we are just printing tonight. 3K pot going to this guy. Unfortunately, we lose some small pots to close out the night, but we still end with a stack of $7,469 at 2 a.m. A profit of just about 6,000.
Just booked a huge win, 215. Just cashed out, called it a night. The table was really good, so I probably should have kept playing, but I was getting tired. Wasn't playing my best. Lost like 1,500 in the last 30 minutes, but still booked a profit of almost 6,000. Huge for the bankroll. We're in a very tough spot, but now that puts us. So we got a couple more sessions left in LA. Let's kill it, and let's hit that 30K bankroll goal by the end of this trip.
All right, boys. Epic session last night. Tonight, we've got an interesting session planned. You guys remember last video where I played at the private game, right? Well, that right there is Justin. He goes to USC, and he invited me to a weekly home game that he hosts with a bunch of kids from the college. So I thought, why not go ahead, school some kids, and make some moolah.
All right, we arrive at the game at 7:30. The stakes are 5-5, but as you'll see, it plays way bigger. We buy in for 2K, and on just our 3rd hand of the night, we've got our whole stack on the line. We look down at pocket 7s on the button, and after the hijack raises to 40, I show that I'm not here to mess around as I 3-bet it up to 125. But the hijack is not backing down, as he now 4-bets to 400. I had just seen the hijack lose a massive pot the hand before, and he had to rebuy for 2,000. So I thought, maybe he's tilted and punting. You know, we could fold, call and see a flop, or we can find the extremely low frequency 5-bet jam! $2,000 in your face! The hijack is put in the blender as he tanks and tanks and then calls with jacks. Why do I do this to myself? We run it twice, but are unable to luck out with a 7. And just like that, it's rebuy time. We played so much better last session, and we're trending upwards. Now is not the time to return to our punting ways. We're in for 4K now, and it takes about 30 minutes for our next big hand, when we peel the Rockets. Time for a comeback. We raise to 25 and get 3 callers, but to our delight, the big blind 3-bets to 125. We're obviously building this pot up as we now 4-bet to 400. The cowards folds before the big blind sticks in the call. Massive pot heading to a flop which shows an ace! A juicy one though, as there's clubs and possible straights on the board. We see bet for 200 and get called quickly, and with a lot of scary draws. The turn is a king, giving us a full house, baby. I bet 300. He jams, and I snap his ass off. He shows us king jack, and to rub salt into his wound, the river comes a jack, giving us the win. Boat over boat. We are right back in the game, stack up to 4,000. Wild start to the session, but buckle up, because we are not slowing down. Shortly after our double up, we win a juicy 1.3k pot with Jack 9 offsuit, turning our middle pair into a sick river bluff that we get through. Then we get pocket 10s in the big blind and duke it out versus the hijack in the 3-bet pot. Flop's not too bad for us, so I put out a small bet of 100. The hijack calls, the turn comes, the 7 of clubs, also not bad. But now I decide to go into check call mode, allowing our aggressive opponent to bluff. The river comes a brick, and when our opponent goes all in, I decide to be a hero and stick in the call with my second pair. The big blind shows us a bluff, a missed straight and flush draw, and that's 1900 in profit coming our way. But now, it's time for the climax as we get into a monstrous pot against our buddy Justin, who is on red alert, meaning he has won the last 2 hands and is just 1 away from winning $75 from everyone at the table. And the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice as I pick up pocket aces once again. He couldn't have come at a better time as Justin is desperate to win this pot, opening to $200. We 3-bet it up to 600. And by the way, Justin and I are both sitting with huge stacks, and we're going to be putting those stacks to use here as he 4-bets to $1,500. Now I can obviously jam here, but given that Justin is going to be opening with a much wider range, I actually like going the trapping route, and so I just put in the call. Over 3K in the pot as we head to the flop. Come on, dealer, give us something clean. We see 6, 8, Jack, 2 diamonds. We can work with that, and as you'd expect, it's all going in here as Justin jams for 3,500, and I'm moving faster than prime Tyreek Hill as I snap call.
I got aces.
Oh. No? $5,000. Who do you think you are? I am. Absolutely electric stuff as our stack booms up to $11,600. We are so back, baby. But the action is nonstop in this game, as in literally the very next hand, we are straight back into a big one against Justin again. This time, we've got the best hand in the game. 7 deuce. Now, before you guys riot, the 7 deuce game is active, so I obviously had to get involved. The low jack limps for 5, cutoff raises to 30, Justin 3-bets to 125, and I 4-bets to 400. Okay, maybe I didn't have to get that involved, but I couldn't help myself. Justin calls, and we've got a rematch. The flop favors our range, so I c-bet for 200. Justin promptly sticks in the call, and we head to the 3 of clubs turn. Now, viewer discretion is advised. So there's no easy way of saying this, but I jammed. Yeah, I hate this play. It's freaking dog shit. I was on winner's tilt and wanted to apply max pressure on Justin with 7 deuce. I should have just gone a small sized to set up a river jam, but instead, I get called on my garbage turn jam and get shown queen 10 of diamonds, second pair. We're literally drawing dead, and that's 2K punted away. That's a 7 deuce game for you. Our stack still sits at $9,600, but we lose another 1.5K off to a brutal cooler. 4-5 versus King 9 on King 9 4-5. 2 pair versus 2 pair. We end up dropping to about 8K in our stack around 10:30 p.m. when it's time for a Canes break. Now, believe it or not, this was actually my first time ever trying Canes, and I didn't even know they had sandwiches. I gotta say though, shit was pretty gas. We get back to playing around 11, and things do not go the way we were hoping as we lose an all-in pre-flop 10s versus ace king for 3,500. I've just been running horribly the past hour, my stack dropping 6,000 from our peak at 12K. And unfortunately, that's the story for the rest of the night. To our final ending stack at 1:45 a.m. of $5,660. An absolutely crazy night with some of the wildest swings I've ever experienced.
Just got back from the home game at USC. Bunch of great guys, great atmosphere, had a great time. That'll help a lot for the bankroll, and it's definitely 2 sessions that we needed. So it's gonna be it for me. Gotta get some sleep.